Hey everybody, it's Eric the Horror Man, and welcome to another episode of Top 10 Tuesday. I know it's been a while since I did one, but I finally decided which Top 10 Tuesday I finally decided to do. This time for my Top 10 Tuesday, I'm doing my Top 10 Tiffany Shepis films. And I know Tiffany Shepis is a very recognizable name in the horror business, and she's known as a screen queen in it. And I met her at the ScareCon event back in 2015, but I just didn't have the money to get her autograph or picture taken with her. But if this COVID crap ever goes away, and if the ScareCon events start up again anytime soon, and if Tiffany Shepis is there at the next ScareCon event, then hopefully I will be able to get her autograph and picture taken with her because not only she's beautiful, but she's also a very good actress, and she's just a very recognizable name in the horror genre because she's also known as one of the recognizable screen queens of all time. So, without further ado, these are my top 10 favorite Tiffany Shepis movies that I like of hers. First up, we have is She Wolf Rising. This was actually my first time seeing this movie of hers. I got this off of Amazon about a couple months ago, and I thought this movie was okay. About even though this was my first time seeing it, about where she plays Gina Skyler, the reigning queen of horror, lures Jacob Bubar, her number one fan, into the decadent world of illusions and myths to help her find Robert Lanzo's, her producer, stolen film footage. Jake sees her vulnerability and beauty and cannot resist her. His beliefs are challenged when he discovers Gina's true nature, but he cannot control his forbidden desire for her. Together, they forge ahead and deal with the demons and beasts that try to stop them. So, She Wolf Rising, it was an okay of a movie, but like I said, it was my first time seeing it, so if you haven't seen it, hit it, check it out. But if you don't want to see it, then that's fine. Next is Pickaxe. This movie was also my first time seeing. I also got off of Amazon about a couple months ago. This movie was also okay, not bad for a slasher movie. Yeah, this one is it's about where 1982, the survivors of a series of brutal killings in a small town thought mass murderer Alex Black was dead and buried after the townspeople put an end to him. But teenagers experimenting with the occult awaken the monster from his grave, and he begins another rampage of terror with his favorite tool, a pickaxe. Only those who have faced him before have any chance of stopping this undead monster once and for all. So Tiffany Shepis plays like a town drunk who's like a real bitch who just knows about this killer Alex Black because she's encountered him before a long time ago. Well, once he gets brought back, now she has to find the way to team up with the sheriff to put a stop to him. So Pickaxe wasn't really too bad of a movie. Next is Exit to Hell. This one was also my first time seeing it. I ended up getting in the mail off of Amazon about a couple months ago. This one wasn't really too bad of a movie. About where a local gang rob a mafia run strip club, shooting up the place and killing anyone in sight. They head south for the border, but when they enter the town of Redstone and begin terrorizing the locals, they find that crime is a dish best served cold, and Kane Hodder plays the town sheriff, Barefoot by the name of Slade Sickle, a man with a true appetite for justice. So they end up dealing with like a cannibal sheriff when they get into the town of Redstone. So now they have to find a way to survive. So Exit to Hell, not really too bad of a movie. It was interesting. Next is Night of the Demons, the remake. I know Tiffany Shepis only has a short cameo appearance in this movie, but she said that this was her favorite cameo appearance that she did it in any movie that she was in for cameo appearances, where she plays a door woman and then who ends up stealing the money after the cops invaded the Halloween party. Because this movie is basically pretty much the same synopsis as the original, where teens decide to have like a Halloween party, but next thing you know, cops invade the party and clear everybody out of here, and that's where you see Tiffany Shepis' character playing the door woman ends up stealing all the money, but the teens decide to stay behind, and it ends up awakening demons, and they end up becoming possessed one by one. So the remake of Night of the Demons, not bad for a remake. I actually like this one. So if you haven't seen the remake of this, check it out. But I definitely like the original Night of the Demons. Next is Sharknado 2, the second one. You see Tiffany Shepis making a small appearance in Sharknado 2. You only see her in film maybe for about, I don't know, like a couple of scenes until she gets taken out by a shark, where you see a shark just come flying out of the air and just squashing Tiffany Shepis. But this time, the Sharknado invades New York City, and Finn is trying to get his family to safety to avoid the Sharknadoes. So, Sharknado 2, of course, everyone knows the Sharknadoes are just wacky, crazy, but just goofy and fun to watch. You can't help but just laugh seeing sharks come flying out of the air and just squashing people. Next is Nightmare Man. This movie wasn't really too bad for a movie. About where after receiving a mysterious mask, Ellen Morris believes that she was attacked by an evil being she calls Nightmare Man. Her husband, Bill, believes she is crazy. On their way to the mental hospital, their car breaks down and Bill goes out to get gas, leaving Ellen alone. But when the Nightmare Man appears, Ellen takes off into the woods, unsure whether she is hallucinating or not. She stumbles upon a cabin filled with friends who unknowingly become prey the moment Ellen steps inside. So, what the girl that receives the mask believes that she was attacked by this thing called a Nightmare Man, and she doesn't know if it was actually all just a hallucination or if it's all in her head. Like, is she really that crazy? But when she runs off into the woods and comes across the cabin, Tiffany Shepis is one of the friends who's staying at that cabin. And then that's when they all start to fall prey to the Nightmare Man, one by one. And Tiffany Shepis was pretty much a badass in this movie, using a crossbow to defend herself. So, Nightmare Man, definitely recommend checking it out. Next we have is The Hazing. This movie is like a Night of the Demons ripoff, where it's Hell Week on campus, and an old abandoned mansion looks like the perfect hazing place to initiate a group of innocent pledges into the most exclusive fraternity and sorority on campus. But these co-eds have picked the wrong night to take possession of the house. On this night, all the rooms are booked, something beyond evil is checked in, and is ready to take possession of anyone who dares to enter. So, again, this movie is like a Night of the Demons ripoff, but it's actually a very fun movie to watch. I definitely really enjoyed this one. And you also got Brad Dourif in this one, playing a professor who ends up becoming possessed. So, and also you have Perry Shen in this movie as well. And Perry Shen is known for doing the Hatchet movies, but he ended up doing this one first before he ended up doing the Hatchet movies. So, The Hazen, I definitely recommend checking this out because it's a very fun movie to watch. Definitely recommend checking it out. Next is Bloody Murder 2. This one I actually really liked, even though I never saw the first one because I heard that people say that the first Bloody Murder was not really that good of a movie. It was just terrible. But the second one, they said was way better, and I really liked the second Bloody Murder because, like I said, I never saw the first one, but I figured I'd check out the second one because I've been hearing things about the first one of being that bad of a movie. But the second Bloody Murder was actually a very fun movie to watch, where it's been 5 years since Trevor Morehouse terrorized Camp Placid Pines, piling up bodies like cords of wood, but now the counselors must close the camp for the winter, and they are not alone. Coming to the Placid Pines is most difficult for Tracy, whose brother Jason was one of Trevor's first victims. Haunted by nightmares, Tracy is facing her worst fears, and when the counselors decide to play a game of bloody murder after a few drinks, the results are deadly. Tracy's nightmares begin to come true as one by one the counselors are brutally murdered. Someone is hunting them through the pitch black forest and is determined to kill them all. Make no mistake about it, Trevor Morehouse is back. So, Bloody Murder 2, very fun movie to watch, even though it's kind of almost like a Friday 13th ripoff, but this movie was actually a lot of fun to watch. Next is Victor Crowley, aka Hatchet 4. This movie was just excellent. This movie was just so much fun. All the Hatchet movies are so much fun with a lot of over the top kills, unique in unique ways. Here's a This movie takes place as like when a plane crashes into a swamp, and then somehow Victor Crowley gets resurrected back to life, and now he's like terrorizing the survivors, or is it that's stranded on the plane, and now these people have to find a way to survive against Victor Crowley and in his domain, which is in the swamp. So Victor Crowley, very fun movie for the Hatchet movies, and I definitely recommend checking it out because all the Hatchet movies are so much fun to watch, and all the kills are just very unique, and it just this movie is just so much fun. I can't say nothing bad about this movie. And of course, at number one is Abominable. This movie was actually a very fun killer Bigfoot movie about where a paraplegic goes back up to the mountains up in the woods where a climbing accident took the life of his wife and left him paralyzed. And once he gets up to the cabin, some girls move in next door to have some fun. But the paraplegic discovers that with a pair of binoculars there's something out there in the woods killing people one by one, and it turns out he makes a shocking discovery that it's Bigfoot going around killing people. And this movie was just so much fun to watch. I remember watching a panel discussion of Tiffany Shepis, and I believe she said, if I'm not mistaken, that out of all the kills that she's done in any horror movie, this kill of her death scene in the Bombo is like the best one that she's ever done in any horror movie that she's done. Like where she's in the bathroom, she gets done showering, then next you know she wraps a towel around her waist, even though she's still topless. She wipes off the window. Then next you know all of a sudden you just see a Bigfoot's arms just grabbing a hold of Tiffany Shepis and just yanking her right out through the window. And the window's not even that big. And when she gets yanked out her window, her body gets bent backwards. So Tiffany Shepis said that out of all the death scenes that she's done in any horror movie, that's her favorite death scene in the movie. So Abominable, I definitely recommend checking out. It's definitely a very fun killer Bigfoot movie. All right, guys. So that's my top 10 movies for Tiffany Shepis. Uh, did you like any of the movies of Tiffany Shepis I showed off? Please let me know in the comments down below. If there's any movies of Tiffany Shepis that you think I should check out, please also let me know in the comments down below. And like and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for some more videos. Later.